Hey, what's up? Patrick here with another very exciting tutorial. Today I want to talk about how to strip paint from scale models. I've recently been talking to a fellow modeler after a contest some weeks ago. Although he did manage to, quote-unquote, succeed in this issue, he wasn't certain on what was the best way to strip paint from his failed attempts. We've all been there. We've all had an idea in mind and tried to accomplish within our models, but failed miserably, or just had an accident after painting or even clear coating our models. Or perhaps we need to strip chrome from factory to apply our own thing, as they are not right. In those cases, it's probably better to start all over again than trying to repair the mess. How to approach this issue will all depend on what kind of paint we used. I'm assuming you will use acrylics, enamels or lacquers, as they are the most extended paints in modeling and the ones I'm certain these methods will work with. By the way, these are the methods that work for me. In no way I mean these are the only ones that work, nor take any responsibility for the results you get from them. You will also be dealing with chemicals, so take precautions. Okay, so first I will make connections between the kinds of paints and the strip liquid. Please skip to another chapter if you're not interested in this section. We basically can classify paints in three big groups. Enamels as Umbral or Revel, Lacquers as Tamiya LPs or TSs, and acrylics as Emo, Vallejo, etc. Of course, there are some hybrid paints such as Tamiya X and XF acrylic range, which can be thinned either with lacquer thinner or alcohol. Let's start with enamels. Enamels are oil-based paints. They form a harder coat and leave a smoother surface than other paints, although not recommendable, but they withstand a polish after drying. One way to strip this paint is using a thinner, but it will take a long time and we take the risk for the plastic to be affected if we're not careful. Let me start with these painted parts from the Shelf of Doom project I have. At that time, over 15 years ago, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I painted with no primer underneath. I want to start this project again and I want to start it from the beginning. Remember, I don't want to dip these parts in thinner, as it will attack the plastic and leave me with a deformed plastic part I don't want. A way I've been using for a long time is the oven foam method. That's a foam used for oven cleaning and it works magic with enamel painted parts. So, the way to proceed is simple. You just grab a plastic bag. I'm using a Ziploc bag, but any other bag will do. A pair of gloves for safety, open the bag and put the parts inside of it. Shake the can and spray the foam on the parts, trying to cover as much of a painted area as you can. Close the bag. Spread the foam as evenly as possible. And let it be for some hours. Okay, so after some hours, this is what we get. We see some colored liquid in the bag, matching the colors on our parts. That's a good sign. Now, the only thing we have left to do, wearing some gloves, is take a toothbrush and scrub the remaining paint off the parts. After a couple minutes scrubbing the paint off of the parts under tap water, we are left with brand new parts to start all over again. There might be some remains in some crevices, but that's not big of a deal. Right then, let's move on to lacquers and acrylics. Either lacquer paints as Tamiya LPs, TS sprays or automotive type of paints, or X and XF acrylic range or even acrylics, they all can use the same method to strip them from the parts we need. We will use isopropyl alcohol. In this case, this is a body we want to strip out of Tamiya spray gray primer. Again, this has been painted around 15 years ago. It even has remains of black enamel paint, but as it's on top of lacquer-based primer, we will get rid of it too with this method. Now, in my case, I've got a dedicated airtight plastic container where I store some IPA. As you can see, it's not clean IPA. It will keep its properties for a while so you can reuse it. The way to do it is just by dipping the body or whatever parts in the IPA and make sure it's fully covered. Try any position you want till it's all in. Close the lid and let it make its work overnight. Okay, so around 12 hours have passed. Let's open the lid and see what happened. At a first glance, it doesn't seem like the IPA has done too much. But if we rub our finger over the paint, we see that it's being removed. So now, the easiest way is to take a toothbrush and rub the paint off the surface until it's completely gone. As we can see, removing these kinds of paints is really easy and they will come off with little effort. Of course, the better the surface was prepared, the more we will need to rub, as the paint is better adhered to the plastic than if it's not prepared as good. Alright, so the last method I want to show you is stripping chrome from pre-chrome parts. They might be incorrect or just we don't like their look. So the fastest way to do so is using some bleach. Bear in mind that it must be only bleach, no bleach with detergent, perfume or other additional chemical stuff in there. Some pre-chrome parts might be bigger than the bleach container, in which case you can use an oven cleaner method, but take into account that the pre-chrome parts have a kind of a gloss coat between the chrome and the plastic, and it will be removed by the cleaner. So take some side cutters and cut the desired parts from the sprue. Put the parts in the bleach container and let it sit for some minutes. Once the chrome is stripped, just wash the part with water and it's ready for further action. And this is it for today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching and see you soon!